Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Nora.
Hey, Erica. So glad to be here.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to wait a few seconds here for more folks to trickle in and join us. So please put your name, where you are joining from, as well as your business and product in the chat.
Yeah, that's actually really helpful for me because sometimes I'm able to ad lib a little bit. If I see your product silo, I can sometimes connect it to what we're talking about in the presentation.
Oh, yes, love that. Happy Wednesday. We were just talking about how hot it is all across the country. I'm located in Denver, Colorado. Nora, you are in New York. It is hot in both places right now.
That's right. That's right.
All right, just going to wait a few more seconds here. Hello, hello again, everyone. Please put your name and where you are joining from, as well as your product or business in the chat.
Yeah, if you can write your product silo, that's always helpful.
Okay. All right, well, let's get started. So hello again. My name is Erica Thompson, and I am the Senior Director of Creative Product here at SOONA. Welcome to the second session of our holiday content webinar series. As a reminder, we are going to be live every Wednesday from now until October, where we are going to be sharing tips and tricks with e-commerce experts and brand marketers. So today I am joined by I think it's actually this way, by our friend Nora Wolf. Nora has worked in PR her entire professional life and has been running her own public relations shop, Wolf PR, since 2011. Hello, Nora. Thanks again for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm well, Erica. Thank you so much for having me. And just to yes and what you were talking about, and this will happen in the presentation as well. I have a public relations firm that's like a full-time retainer PR firm. And then I actually have a second PR strategy business called Wolfcraft. And that's kind of who's making the presentation today. So just wanted to make sure I give credit where credit's due.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And okay, so before we get started, I did read that you studied art and design for your undergraduate degree. And I'm just curious, I mean, how does your artistic background inspire your work as a publicist?
I mean, great question. I think one of the things that I really took away from art school was critique and thinking about how to make your work better or how to make your work more suitable for the environment in which you're showing it. And so I think that there's a direct correlation about thinking about the venue or the medium when you're making work and thinking about how a product might fit into a publication. Like, to me, there's a lot of overlap in trying to be really thoughtful about is what I have suitable for this gallery, like if I'm a painter, or should it rather be like some kind of like online installation, a creative new way of presenting work? And I think the same thing applies to deciding where your product might be a good fit for. Is my product a good fit for this luxury publication, or is it better fit for like a general consumer publication? So I take a lot of those ideas from critique and from thinking critically about work and bring it to something a little bit less critical, a little bit more business oriented, but still the same ideas apply.
No, I love that. I think that's such a really unique background for what you do. So thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so Nora is going to present here in a second. So just to remind some of the new folks that just joined, please put your name, where you're from, and your product or business in the chat. That'll help us kind of tailor some questions at the end. And then also, if you do have any questions, please add them into the chat. We will save them all for the end, and we'll answer all of your questions. All right, Nora, you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
All right. So yeah, welcome to our what it takes to get your products featured in a holiday gift guides presentation. Hi, I'm Nora. That's me, obviously. A few things about me, like you just mentioned, Erica. About 1 million years ago, give or take, I studied art and design at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, which has informed my career for the last 17 years. Then in 2011, I founded a public relations firm called Wolf PR, not to be confused with Wolfcraft, which I will tell you about in the next few slides. For some context, at Wolf PR, we work across all types of design, from multinational public companies to small one-person shops. We've worked with luxury collectible design and affordable, accessible gifts, which is what I'll mostly be talking about in this presentation. We also touch furniture, lighting, textiles, and flooring. The list really does go on. So if it somehow touches design, we've likely worked on it. Another little tidbit about me and how I run my business and my life. I decided, and I imagine a lot of you can relate to this, since I take on the incredible stress of running my own business, I also get to make my own rules. And one of them was to live overseas for 1 month a year. I was supposed to do a new place every year, but for some reason, I just kept going back to Lisbon. The city is filled with creative professionals, which is something I found endlessly inspiring, and which is probably why it was there I finally decided to found Wolfcraft, my second public relations business. To rewind and give some more context, my first business, Wolf PR, is a traditional full-service retainer PR shop. Our clients pay us a flat fee every month, and we do a lot of great work for them. But I've always known retainer PR services were not for everyone because of price constraints and content constraints. So if you don't have stuff going on for a full year, why would you want to pay for a full year of services? So many businesses know that they want PR, but they're really not ready for monthly retainer services, or they want PR, but they don't know where to start. And I knew I wanted to work with these smart and creative folks, probably like all y'all, even if retainer PR was not the right way to work with them. And that's why we started Wolfcraft. We're an a la carte PR shop that teaches small business owners, creatives, and in-house marketing teams the craft of PR. And our very first idea for Wolfcraft was to teach people how to pitch their products to holiday gift guides. Pitching gift guides was a skill that I had endeavored to get really good at. I fine-tuned my approach over several years to create a system that anyone could plug their own work into. In my line of work, I meet a lot of small design shops, and many of them ask me how to get into gift guides. Sometimes they've gotten a single placement, and they've even sold out of a whole stock of that item from that placement, but they want to do it more often, they want to do it with more intention, and they just don't know how. So because I'm also a small business owner, I put this workshop together with small businesses and small teams in mind. Before we get started, let's talk about what a holiday gift guide actually is. Holiday gift guides are shopping roundups all about gifts. And this is important. Gift guides are not advertisements. There is no what we call pay for play. The pieces are included in each gift guide because the editors of the publications liked the pieces and thought that they were relevant to their audience. In this workshop, we're going to review what to do to make your products delicious to an editor so they can consider your work for inclusion in a gift guide. From October through December, magazines, blogs, and newspapers publish gift-giving product roundups, generally centered on themes. Like here, we see on the left, Blue Christmas, in the middle, self-care gifts, and on the right are gifts for the entertainer or for the hosts. So holiday gift guides are built around a huge range of themes and feature products at various price points. I've seen themes around sustainability, gifts that give back, the weed connoisseur. The creativity here can feel endless, and I'm going to go much deeper into that in this presentation. So how do you know if your product is a good fit for holiday gift guides? Holiday gift guides feature a ton of different types of products. They're almost always small and like giftable things like ceramics, tech products, jewelry, accessories, home goods, tools and gear, textiles and linens, small decor items, beauty products, and small giftable things like this wine tote. Basically any product that you would gift someone that is also small and shippable. Gift guides also often feature consumables like coffee, fancy desserts, and artisanal chocolate sets. Gift guides don't typically feature large items like sofas. So if you're a furniture maker, this workshop was made to help you promote your tabletop line. And if you don't have giftable things, this workshop is not for you. A fun thing to note, something I'm really proud of, is all the products featured here are clients' products, and we've placed all these products in the publications listed above. In fact, every gift guide you're going to see in this workshop or have already seen in this workshop has at least one item in it that was placed by my team or myself. And that is because I want you to know this is all based on real world activity. None of it is theory. It's all stuff we do every single year. So do you ever get a little jealous in December when you see competitors or peers, friends, products, and holiday gift guides, and you're like, how are they getting those placements? Today, you're going to see what my team and I do to pitch gift guides, and we're only a 2-person team, and each year we get tons of placements. So I feel confident saying our method is pretty accessible. So what you will learn today: why the holidays have 5 times the amount of press opportunities, why holiday gift guides should be your immediate outreach priority if you sell products, when you should start working on gift guides so you're not late, how gift guide placements can impact your end of the year sales goals, plus some of my insider tips to get your product ready for holiday gift guide outreach. The last thing I want to say before we dig in is I won't be in the chat, but my business partner, Kirsten, will be in the chat. So as you think of a question, feel free to just, excuse me, throw it in the chat, and Kirsten will either answer it in real time or she will hold on to it until the end, and then we will answer it in a Q&A. So let us dig in. First, why do the holidays have 5 times the amount of press opportunities? Holiday gift guides are unlike any other type of product placement PR because once a year, publications that typically feature one kind of thing will feature all kinds of things. You can see this across all sorts of titles. An example might be Men's Health. They might have a guide of what to buy your girlfriend that would include products which you'd otherwise never see in Men's Health. And this is a great thing. Your product gets a greater exposure to a new audience. In this example here, we think of Better Homes and Gardens as a home publication, but actually none of the items in this gift guide are really for the home. They are all those giftable items similar to what we saw on the Is My Product a Good Fit for Gift Guide pages. Our client makes these cute and fun beaded food-shaped pouches that are on the lower left. I want to quickly point out the strategic photography moment. So she decided to take a photo showing the 3 different items in the same shot. And we kind of see a little bit of their functionality as well with the little pens sticking out. And this is a great shot. It's such a great photo that it probably led to her getting the biggest spot on the page. So we'll talk more about photography and merchandising later in the presentation, so do stay tuned for that. According to Better Homes and Gardens Media Kit, they reach nearly 26 million readers, majority women. Better Homes and Gardens stimulates creativity, delivers know-how, and surprises her with fresh ideas she can make her own. That's 26 million potential extra eyes with a point of view on your product if you get this gift guide placement. During the holidays, you can find gift guides in niche titles you normally would not be able to work with. Again, this is Wired magazine, not a publication that makes you think of shopping, but it features products during the holidays. And we were really thrilled to get this desk lamp a full page in Wired. Between subscribers and people who purchase at newsstands, the audience for Wired is 5 million. And if a gift guide gets syndicated to their digital magazine, that's 16 million more potential readers. And they always get syndicated to online. So it's exciting. Let's look at digital gift guides. You probably don't think of Self, GQ, or Bloomberg as shopping publications unless it's the holidays. Self is telling you to exercise. They're not telling you to drink wine. Digging into the metrics, Self has 10.6 million unique visitors per month to their website. GQ has 16 million unique visitors per month to their website. And Bloomberg has 53.1 million unique visitors per month across their digital platforms. Of course, this does not mean that literally millions of people will buy your product if you get a gift guide placement. But for many small businesses, even hundreds of additional purchases because of media placements can make a huge bottom line difference. If you're thinking, there's no way I'm ready for Bloomberg, fair. That does not mean gift guides aren't a great opportunity for your business. There are also tons of press opportunities in local and regional publications. Charlotte Home Design for any North Carolinians here. Here we've got Vancouver Magazine and New Jersey Monthly. And here's a few examples of gift guides in local and regional digital publications as well. This is Western Living, a Canadian publication, City Beat, a North Carolinian title, and the Windy City Times, which is a Chicago publication. Every year when I pitch for my clients, I like to pitch a mix of big national magazines and smaller local blogs and newspapers. So since you're here, you're likely thinking about starting to do some media outreach work. I want to walk you through 4 reasons why you should pitch holiday gift guides if you only have time for one PR-related activity. Holiday gift guides have more products per page than any other media features. Here we see 10 products, 11 products, and 9 products. So each extra spot on the page means extra opportunities to consider your product to fill that extra spot. Media outreach can be overwhelming and sometimes confusing, and that's why holiday gift guides are a great place to start if you are new to PR. There's a straightforward recipe, so you won't have to come up with any complicated messaging or story angle strategy. Another big long-term benefit of pitching gift guides is the media contacts list you'll make. You'll be able to use and add to this list year after year. And what else can you do with that great media list? Well, most gift guide editors write product roundups all year, and you can extrapolate what you learn pitching gift guides into smaller holidays like Valentine's Day, back to school, and Mother's Day. I have a lot of people come to me in late November asking about getting into gift guides, probably because they're seeing so many gift guides get published. At that point, it's too late. So let's look at when to start working on holiday gift guides so you're not late. The basic timeline for holiday gift guide pitching is different than any other type of media feature because it's such a big lift for publications. You saw all those products on each page. Each additional product means more work for the editors too, and more work for the editors means they have to start earlier. And this means if you want to pitch for gift guides, you have to start early as well. In the PR world, big magazines like Fast Company, Essence, Bon Appetit, and Esquire are called print national, and they're the publications you'll typically see on an airport newsstand. For typical features, you need to pitch print national magazines about 3 to 4 months before the issue you're pitching is due to come out. But when it comes to holiday gift guides, that lead time can extend to over 6 months. At Wolf PR, we start our gift guide outreach in July. As a big fan of Halloween and Thanksgiving, I wish these holidays got to keep their months. But the reality is the digital publications have started publishing gift guides as early as October. This is especially true for the digital versions of print magazines. Okay, so I am supposed to be hammering home that you need to start early. And a lot of conventional wisdom and my personal experience agrees with all this timing in order to make the most out of all the possible product placement opportunities. But conventional wisdom also says you should have all your pitching wrapped up by August. And you're probably looking at me being like, it is July 31st. What are we talking about? So if you feel like you're running behind or getting this info too late, I want you to know there are still so many opportunities well into the fall. At Wolf PR, we're often pitching digital publications right up until the week before Christmas for any of those quick ship and last minute gift guide placements. Here's how we tackle gift guide pitching at Wolf PR. We start with the longest lead time first, those big print national publications. After our print publication pitches are sent, we move on to regional lead titles with medium lead times. Then we move on to digital outreach. And we save the quick ship pitches for the December gift guides. We keep all this information organized in a pitching spreadsheet. So if you're pitching gift guides for the first time, the earlier you start, the better. Now, like literally right now is the time to research which publications and editors are the best fit. And a few slides in the future, we're going to go over how to do some of that research. Create your media list. So you look at the research and you translate it into a list and find your targets. And make sure you have the right photos to pitch these features. So again, the research informs what kind of photos you need. Let's talk a bit about how gift guide placements can impact your end of the year sales goals. The biggest time of year for consumer spending is during the holidays, and many of my retainer clients make the majority of their sales in the 4 weeks before Christmas. And this likely doesn't come as a surprise to anyone, but well over half of shoppers purchase their gifts online, often via gift guide suggestions they found in their favorite blogs and magazines. I talked about why gift guides are so impactful for small businesses and why you should start early. Now I want to give you 5 specific insider tips to get your product ready for gift guide outreach. First, be sure you have sufficient stock and that your sales platform is working properly. This may sound obvious, but I've seen a lot of brands leave sold out items on their sales page. This is a no-go if you're pitching gift guides because it tells an editor that you don't have enough stock and you won't be ready for their readership's attention, so they'll likely pass you over. I suggest removing sold out items from your sales page when you start pitching gift guides. So many people ask, how do I even get started in pitching gift guides? Look at gift guides from years past and see what themes come up and which themes your product may fit into. This is an example of a gift guide for travelers from Forbes. So one of the products my client sells is felt keychains. So to get this feature, we put a travel spin on the keychain. And let me just see if I can read this for you. It says, you'll always be able to recognize your luggage with this great looking felt tassel from the craftspeople at Grafflands. So they did not make this tassel to be a luggage identification system. They just made it as a tassel, but it works and it fit the editor's travel point of view. This editor only writes about travel. And so she was able to include it in her travel gift guide. She got great content. Our clients got great press. Everyone was happy. For gift guides, audience is similar to themes, and there are tons of gift guides organized around a specific audience. Gifts for mom or dad, for the college student, gifts for someone who loves to entertain, or for the pet lover. As you can see in the example here, gifts for mom covers a lot of bases: a ceramic serving tray, a pair of earrings, candle, and an apron. So think about your ideal customer or customers and get creative. A lot of times, the right merchandising can be that extra something that will get you a gift guide placement. Publications like to feature giftable sets, kits, and collections for their holiday gift guides. And this is especially true for consumables. What I mean by that is magazines would prefer not to publish just a sack of coffee beans, but they would love to publish the sack of coffee beans with 2 special cups and a beautiful scoop. Now you have a gift guide. So that's where merchandising really is important to getting these placements. Now, this slide is maybe the most important of the whole presentation. You must have media quality photography to successfully secure gift guide placements. If you don't have industry standard images, an editor will simply pass over your product, even if it fits the guide's theme. I promise SOONA did not put this in our presentation. We had it here before we even made the presentation with them. I do want you to notice how the products above are on crisp white backgrounds. They're all well lit with minimal or no shadows. This type of photography has a lot of names: solo white, silhouette, ecomm, and it is the most common type of photography used in gift guides. This image and the image from our previous slide are all about a guide. We are all from a guide we put together about photography for media outreach. So let's bring it all together. I want to give you a bit of a behind the scenes look at how I keep these tips in mind while I'm doing publication research for my clients. I try and answer the questions that I set up for myself. And some of the most common ones are, what publications do I want to pitch? Which editors do I actually want to reach out to? What's worth my time? And what should I actually be skipping and not pitching? So this is Canadian Living magazine. The publication is Canadian, but I can actually see here that they are publishing non-Canadian brands from the US and the UK. So if you ship to Canada, you know you can still pitch this publication. And this is a good thing to know. Perhaps the next Canadian publication I do research for only publishes Canadian brands, which means I shouldn't even spend any time pitching my US-based clients. It's good to know where you should be pitching and where you can save your time. The theme, always a thing I make note of. They don't always repeat, but it's nice to get an idea of their point of view, and I can reference it in my pitch. So the theme here is gilded decor and space-saving tech. The photography is all that solo on white imagery that I had mentioned from the last slide. The price point is another thing I really pay attention to. Here, it ranges from $22 to $145. So if your product is much more than $200, this isn't a good fit. This isn't a good opportunity. You'd want to look at higher end gift guides. This sales platform, meaning where to buy those products. All the products on this page are sold at the actual business's website. So I don't see Amazon or Etsy listings. And that means if my product is only sold on Amazon or Etsy, this would not be the right fit for me. But if I have a website that also has a store, I could still pitch. So how do we put this to use? In a minute, I'm going to put in the chat 4 links of holiday gift guides, and I want you to take a look at them and see if you can decide if your product would be a good fit for any of these, and then comment on which it would be a good fit for and why, or if none of them fit, why not? And remember, if you're looking to see if they included a theme that your work might be a good fit for, if you have the right photography, if your work falls in the same price point range, and if you see similar kinds of items in that price point. Let me just copy and paste this into the chat. Normally, I will also open these in a tab, but because I'm not sure how to screen share as easily, I'm just going to put them in the chat and you guys can absolutely open them. So take a look, open some of those links and see if you think your product would be a fit for any of those guides. And I will keep time for 2 minutes. All right, we have about another minute left. Curious to see always who the first person is to go in the chat. Oh, the links aren't clickable. Thanks, Kirsten. I guess you'll have to copy and paste. I'll give it another minute and then we can just keep going if it doesn't work on this particular version of presentation. All right. If you go in the chat, you can't copy from the chat either. Sorry, guys. So I will continue. Oh, you're able to click via mobile. What was the question? Oh, just to see if any of your products would fit into any of those gift guides, keeping these questions in mind. If your work fits in the theme, if your photos match their point of view, if you have a similar price point, if they're featuring similar pieces to your work. But I don't want to spend too much more time on this exercise, so I'm going to continue on, but absolutely watch the replay and try it out for yourself. Oh, and someone, Nicole said, better homes and gardens. So great, Nicole, you got the exercise. And Alina says, sight unseen, awesome. You must have very cool stuff. All right, I'm going to continue on. I want to quickly tell you 2 stories about how Gift Guide Press has impacted my clients' businesses. The first story, you may be familiar with the furniture and home goods brand Industry West. They make a lot of furniture and bigger pieces, which is not really a giftable kind of product. But they had a few lines of smaller accessories, which we decided we would pitch out for holiday gift guides. During gift guide pitching season a few years back, we went really hard pitching a line of leather-wrapped home goods they were carrying, like the lunchbox you see here in the regional magazine, California Home and Design. We placed the leather tool set in another regional magazine, New Jersey Monthly, and in the national lifestyle publication, Cottages and Gardens. We placed the water bottle from this line in the gifting trade publication, Gifts and Deck, and the watering can of all things in Harper's Bazaar. We also got them some great digital press, like in Real Simple, Outside, and Eater. Industry West's chief marketing officer was a big metrics guy, and what I learned after the holidays were over was that basically all the press we were getting for their giftable pieces started driving a bunch of traffic and growing their audience. So much so that it upended the metrics. And they decided to make a whole second brand because they wanted to market to this audience completely differently than the audience who was intended to buy bigger ticket items like furniture. From our efforts, they launched a whole spin-off brand called Favor. We placed these very similar products in publications ranging from local magazines to a huge national fashion magazine to an industry trade publication, a lifestyle blog, an outdoors-focused publication, and a food and beverage publication. And this is why doing your research, knowing your audience, and getting creative with your story angles is so important. This work opens up tons of opportunities in publications you may never even think of. If everything I presented so far resonated with you and you're excited to pitch your product to holiday gift guides and you're like, just give me the pro tools already, it's possible that our How to Pitch for Holiday Gift Guides course is the course for you. Real quick, I do want to talk about 3 things I hate. I hate courses that are time wasters, and I've unfortunately done more than one. And yes, I'm mad about my wasted money, but I'm even more mad about my time, which could have gone to a more impactful activity to grow my small biz. I hate fluff. In this course, I won't tell you have to believe in yourself to get gift guide placements. To me, that's just not relevant, and I often find it can be a waste of my time. What I do give you instead are the exact strategies, scripts, and tools I use every year to get placements for my clients. So there's no magical thinking, just methodology. I, 3, hate a hard sell. So I'm going to tell you a few things about what's in our full lifetime access course, and hopefully you'll think it's a worthwhile investment for your business. But if you don't, that's okay too. We're going to keep the discussion real short for y'all and just go over very top line things and only take a little bit of time before we get to the Q&A. Kirsten will put a link in the chat so you can learn more, as well as a exclusive 30% off discount code just for SOONA's group, because we wanted to say thank you for watching our presentation. So I'm going to go through a few slides and then I'll open it up to Q&A where you can ask questions specific to your business, get as specific as you want. We will say folks tend to get the most out of the Q&A portion, so stick around. So the course includes all the PR tools you'll need to get gift guide placements for your products. I put these together based on the exact methods for my team, and I use them to secure tons of features for our clients. I will say the exact email scripts portion is like exactly the emails that we send out. And so I think you guys would get a lot of value out of them. We hear they're really helpful. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about is the detailed week-by-week pitching calendar that tells you exactly what to do week by week from basically now all the way through December. As you may imagine, the media world changes fast. So since launching the course in 2020, we've made big updates and added bonuses so that our cohort always has the most current information and tools. When you enroll in the course, you get access for a life, including all future updates. These are a few of the updates that we've included since we launched. One of the most valuable additions is a training about how to set up and use affiliate links to have the best chance at PR success. This is something that before the pandemic, none of our Wolf PR clients had, and now literally all of them have them. The media changed a lot, and we evolved to stay on top of it. So just a reminder, all the stuff I've talked about today comes from years of pitching and fine-tuning a media outreach system that works, and there's no theory and no fluff. So for a little bit of proof and a little bit of a humble brag and a lot of pride, all the gift guide placements you're about to see are not from my team. They're a small sampling of press wins from our course participants, and they did all of this with the course. Thread and Whisk makes US-made aprons and totes, and Thread and Whisk reached really high and got not only into Martha Stewart, but also Real Simple. And this piece also appeared in Real Simple's print issue. This amazing ceramicist, Carmen, did our course and also sometimes works with me one-on-one. And Carmen really knocked it out of the park, got her ceramic vase planter included in Goop 2 times. On the left, they called in her planter for a photo shoot. And on the right, they included her planter in a What We're Gifting roundup using Carmen's own photography. Willow Ship's Hannah Cafe apron was featured in Real Simple's digital and print guides under the home cook section. And we also had to share the email we got from Willow Ship's founder, who was thinking about the future of the relationships she's making. So I'm gonna maybe talk about that in the future. Sister-owned jewelry brand, aptly named Sister Sister, got into Ms. They also got placements in Virginia's For Lovers blog, which is a great local publication, and the Skim newsletter, which has 7 million readers, which is insane. The embroidery kit brand, Keller Design Co., got placements in the But First Joy blog and in the psychology-focused blog, psycom.net, as an anti-anxiety gift. And anti-anxiety is such a cool and interesting theme that we had never heard of before. Sister Sister also got featured in Birdie. Nanu's Nudge Counter was featured in Domino, and Nuts and Bolts' Meal Planner was featured in Sunset. Thankful Greetings Matchbox was selected for Holiday Decor magazine. And last but not least, Milk and Honey makes jewelry kits for mothers. They pitched Washington Family's holiday guide, and the editor liked their products so much they got a full page spread. So my How to Pitch for Gift Guides course was built on the tools, techniques, and systems I've developed after a decade of successfully securing gift guide placements for my clients and watching the impact these media features have had on their businesses. So now we are going to transfer into Q&A time. Please feel free to email us at the email address. It should be Wolf with an F craft. Sorry, that's our typo, our fault. Follow us on Instagram. Also on our website, we have a newsletter and it's free. And if you thought this was really informative and helpful, we also put a lot of work into our free newsletter, and we think it's really informative and actionable as well. So without further ado, I'm gonna sneak into the chat, but maybe Kirsten, you can surface some good questions because I know a lot's been streaming by me, or Erica, you can.
Yes, Nora, first of all, thank you so much. This was all incredibly amazing information. I learned so much. Thank you. I know some folks did have some questions here, so let's look here. So the first one was from Daniela, and Daniela asked, do you usually include photos in the initial pitch or on the follow-up if an editor is interested?
Great question. Yes, we always embed photos in the initial pitch. We have to think about what the editors want. So they are putting together, not doing big storytelling, right? Very rarely are they here's everything you need to know about the company and the maker and the materials. And it's not that kind of story. They just want to know what the product is and if it's a good fit for their guide, what they're envisioning. So that's very picture heavy. Gift guides are usually just kind of picture books. And so you want to lead with a thing that they need to build that page. And what they need is photography. So we always put low res, but kind of big size images embedded into the email so that it loads quickly and they have a really rich idea of the photography.
Okay, great. Fantastic. And I know you mentioned too how important quality, product on white ecomm photography is. What are some of the mistakes that you see your clients making with their photography?
Yeah. I mean, it is all over the place. Some of the ecomm stuff, it looks really simple, and somehow they're still trying to cut corners. They're shooting it against a crinkly white sheet that they just laundered, and an iPhone, and maybe daylight. And so each image is kind of different because the sun's moving and the wrinkles are really distracting, and it's very the left side is dark and the right side is light, or you can kind of see my hands, it's even happening there. So these are all things that kind of distract from if it's a professional grown-up business or not. It is technically a piece silhouetted on white, but is the angle the right angle? Do we understand the product? Does it look like a grown-up business? And so those are the kind of things that first of all, instill confidence in consumers. And I always say like a good PR strategy has like a significant Venn diagram overlap with like a good PR strategy, good business, good PR. It's like all the same thing. But yeah, like the editors, if they can't use that image, even if they love your product, they're not going to include it. They're not going to like call it in and take that photo for you. They don't have that budget anymore.
Yeah, no, and I know at the beginning of the presentation, you mentioned a product that was a pencil pen holder. And I love that example you showed. It's almost showed the product in action a little bit, right? Like showing pencils coming out of the case. Is that something you also recommend?
It can be, yeah. We have, we talk a little bit about like the different silos of photography. And so like there's that kind of just like solo against white, like the single product SKU, but you can really like start to editorialize, and like editorial shots that are not against white also can work really well to get someone's attention. But again, doing that research and seeing what's the photography that they're using for gift guide, it's often solo and white, but like they will use some editorialized images. Like if they're doing like a cutting board, it might like be set up like a cheese board with like the knives and the cheese on it and like a little flag. So like it doesn't just have to be the product like raw. You can editorialize, but it still has to like have that clean, crisp background that's just white and boring. And like the lighting kind of has to be very even. I see people almost get like too creative and like get too much personality, where really you just want to like numb that out so that the magazine's personality is like what really shines. Like it's their story and they're including you.
Okay, great. So Nicole Crockett has a question. Do gift guides want you to have affiliate marketing already set up to share a sale?
Yeah, Share Sale is one of several networks. Actually, most of our clients are on it, but I don't have like an allegiance or preference. We have clients who've used Rakuten, Impact. Amazon has it like built in, like a few big retailers have it kind of built in. But yeah, everything has changed in like how publications make money. And so like one of the big things used to be print ads, and those like don't really generate as much revenue for them. And so one of the ways they're making money right now is like through profit share, through affiliate links, or through referral fee, like however you want to like, merchandise this idea, like that's how they're generating revenue. And so they're much more incentivized to include products that will share a piece of the pie with them. And just to give a little context, because it's still editorial, it's not advertising. If I'm writing a story that's like the 10 best socks, the 10 coziest socks for winter, and there's like 10,000 socks and I'm trying to write about 10 of them, like how do I start narrowing the field? Well, I'm going to eliminate everyone that I can't make money from. And so I still have maybe like 500 sock companies to choose from to get down to my 10, but now your competition went from 10,000 to like 500. So it really helps you kind of like be palatable and delicious to that editor.
Interesting. I love that you say be delicious, right? Like you really want to say that. Another question, how do you get in contact with editors? A lot of publications don't seem to be getting in contact very accessible. I know it's a question in the chat.
Oh, I mean, I just email them. I don't know. You find their name. Like almost every gift guide will usually say like, by this person, like the story was written, they have a byline. So you find their name, and most of the time they're in-house. So if it's like Real Simple, it'll be like erica.thompson@realsimple.com or erica.thompson@publisher.com. I don't remember off the top of my head if Real Simple has their own email or if they have a publisher, but like, Vogue, like everyone at Vogue is like first name dot last name @condenast.com. So yeah, you may not find like that person's email address, but you can almost always find like the naming mechanism for email addresses. And like, they're very used to getting emails from all sorts of people. Like, and the point here is not to just email them a bunch of stuff about your business, but to like really be working in service to the editor and being like, you put together gift guides in this price point. I have something in this price point. You put together gift guides with this point of view. I have something that hits this point of view. And like, let me make your job easier. Here's all the pictures you already need to know. Here's all the information that you need to like put this guide together. Like, it's not about me telling you like, pay attention to me. It's about me giving you tools to make your life easier.
Oh, that's great. And I know in kind of in the same vein, Kelly is asking for products like skincare, should you offer to send samples for those editorial considerations?
Okay, always offer if that's something that you want to do. Never send unsolicited.
Okay.
Something that like Kirsten and I talk about a lot is empathy. And even though it's like a little bit of like a therapy word, I'm going to bring it into the business world. And it's like, who are these editors? They're like usually in New York City, living in tiny little apartments, not being paid properly. Magazines have no budget. And so like if they're in their apartment and they're getting like 10 press packages a day, they have to unpack that, deal with like find a way to organize that product and like dispose of the packaging. And like if you're getting stuff that you didn't ask for and it like is creating a mess in your space, it like is going to annoy you and you don't want to write about someone that's like sending you stuff and is annoying. So really you want to make the offer that you're happy to send samples. And then, in our course, we talk about how to coordinate that properly, but you certainly don't want to do anything unsolicited.
Okay. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays you're always seeing TikTokers with like their PR hauls, right? Where they're just getting a ton of packages.
Yeah. And that, I won't talk about this too much. Pitching to influencers it's not totally different. There's a lot of overlap, but like each influencer is like their own publishing house, their own editorial property. And so like some of them want you to pay to get something in there. A lot of them are just like in it for the free stuff. So they have different standards. Like they're not journalists. And they have some disclosure things that they do need to say. But for the most part, like the editorial standards for a publication and an influencer are pretty different. And this like on purpose was about how to work with publications, not influencers. So like, that's like 1,000 different questions. So yeah.
Nice. I feel like I opened up the box for a completely different webinar, but yes, no, thank you for sharing. I know a question I skipped over. Annette asked, any gift guides for CPG food brands?
Like, can you send gifts? Are there gift guides in the world for food?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I think that's the question, right? Like, are there any food specific type gift guides that you recommend?
I mean, absolutely. And that's like going back to those research slides, like that's a question that you're going to ask about when you're doing the research. So you're like, I'm really looking for a specific kind of product. So one of the ways that I always recommend to do that research is to like find the peers and do like a reverse search, like gift guide plus this competitor. Like if you're an olive oil brand, like I would like put gift guide plus Brightland and see like where like they were featured last time and try and find your gift guides that way, because like there's kind of infinite topics and infinite gift guides. Like, we showed you a psychology blog had an anti-anxiety gift. Like if I'm a shoemaker, like I'm not pitching the anti-anxiety gift guide. So you really do want to keep in mind, like, what are the questions I'm trying to answer with this research and try and like narrow in. Food titles can publish and do publish food stuff. So I would certainly start your search there. But there are also lots of themes in general consumer publications that deal with food as well. So without knowing more about your product, I would say like, absolutely. Like, is Skittles going to be included in a gift guide? Probably not. But like, is Skittles, like if it's merchandise and like a cool package with like maybe a toy that comes with it, like maybe that would be included. So I think you just have to like kind of get clear on like what the product offering is. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
No, I believe so. I'm not sure if she's still on the chat, but all right. Well, I know we only have just a few more minutes left. So does anybody have any additional questions? Nora, this has been so great.
Yeah, Erica, thanks for having me, and lots of good questions keeping me on my toes.
Yes. All right. Well, we are going to sign off here in a second. Again, Nora, thank you. So this webinar is going to live on our landing page, soona.co/webinars. So if you weren't able to watch the entire video, or you just kind of tuned in at the end and you want to see all of the great tips and tricks Nora had at the beginning, that video will be there for you. And as I mentioned, we are going to be doing these live every Wednesday from now until October. And this was fantastic. Thank you so much, Nora.
Absolutely. And I just dropped my email address, my personal and our general, which is really just me and Kirsten anyway. So if you have other questions, feel free to reach out. Erica, is such a pleasure to have done this presentation with you.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.